Time for another exciting episode of Jason Eats Lunch. Not a very exciting episode. So, apparently, YouTube has decided that if I don't make a video, they're going to shut down my channel. Well, I guess I got to make a video. Well, let's talk about it. Pretty good. So, Jason is also going to drink coffee. I am back out here at my favorite park here in Oriental, North Carolina. And, oh, that's good today. And thought I'd give you guys an update of what's going on. So, there's a lot going on. My life has basically been on hold for a year and a half. We moved from Georgia and have been in a house, in a rental house, ever since, waiting for our build to be built. I've also been doing a lot of writing, but that's about it. So, like, life is on hold. I've been on the motorcycle and nothing else. That is killing me. Finally, I am at a point where the build is almost done. But our builder's taken her sweet time, and that's frustrating, as you might imagine. So I'm hoping here soon I will be able to start doing more videos and start showing some of the stuff that I want to do around the house and on a boat. So the airplane build, as you know, is dead. It's gone. It's sold. I'm done with airplanes. Mostly because my wife doesn't want to do it, and if she doesn't want to do it, well, I don't want to do it either. I mean, I want to do what my wife wants to do. I'm going to show a portion of this video as I'm riding down the road, where I kind of say all this again, just so you guys get the full picture, because I don't know what all I said then. The cameras died in the middle as I was getting here, so it's like, well, crud. I don't know at what point the cameras died. So these camera batteries, they don't last long. So this is a GoPro Hero 9, and then I've got a something 360 camera. Its battery doesn't long, and then it lasts long. And then I've got the old, this is like a 5, right? Oh, Hero S is what this little guy is. And I filmed a lot of videos on this. Works pretty well for what it is. Battery doesn't last very long. Same thing. And you can't replace the battery in this. The battery is inside, so this just becomes trash. Oh well. It's been a long time. These cameras have done a lot of heavy duty filming, so can't really complain too much. And I think I can get new batteries for the 9, because they're up to what, 10 or 11 or something like that. So I'm sure I can still get batteries for this one. I have like 4, and one of them was super big, fat, and swollen, so I had to like chuck it, because I'm like, nope, not even trusting that one. And this battery I charged up full last night, but it didn't keep the charge, or maybe it didn't charge. Like the light was on, implying it was charging, but there was no charge on it this morning. So I think it's cooked too. Anyway, so back to what's going on. The build is almost done. In theory, knock on wood, it should be done this week or next week, and then we can start moving. It's okay, I'm all right with it. I plan for this to be the very last house I ever have to move into. This is finally my forever home. But I want to get a boat. So I live in this beautiful area with these beautiful shorelines, and you know, the Pamlico Sound is out here, and then right on the other side of the Outer Banks is, of course, the ocean. And I know a lot of folks that sail up and down the coast. They go all the way up to New York. They go do the intercoastal loop and come back down and go around Florida, and just, they love it. And I kind of want to do that. I've been looking at various different boats of different types and styles. I really like some of the older, they kind of have that wood look to them, you know, 1950s era boat. They're just beautiful. And I like some of the trawlers that, you know, the 50-foot Hatteras or something like that. Those are pretty cool too. I don't know what I'm going to get. We had kicked back and forth about getting a sailboat, and then it was about a catamaran, and then it was about mission. So that's, I'm a big mission guy. Like figure out what your mission is first and then buy a boat or whatever. In this case, I think a mission is a lot of coastal boat trips, you know, in and around a given area. And, you know, like from here to Ocracoke or something like that, which is like an 8-hour trip. I mean, that's pretty good. You know, that'd be something you could do in just about any boat, but it would be easier in a trawler style boat than it would be in a sailboat. So we also talked about, like I said, doing the intercoastal loop, and there you have a maximum height. You know, you can't go, depending on where you go on the loop, there are some places you can't go if your boat's taller than like 19 feet, you know, so that's something else we got to consider is what we're going to do there, you know. When we talked about the sailboats originally, because we were just going to do sailing around the Bahamas, my wife and I kind of looked around, and there's a lot of really nice sailboats, but she's like, you know, if we're going to do this, why don't we get something that we can kind of live on long term, if not a permanent live aboard. It's something that we can get on, go for 3 or 4 weeks and be on it that whole time and not feel cramped or whatever. Well, that's a catamaran. And I don't know if you guys have ever priced modern catamarans, but modern catamarans are expensive. Even a used one, like a gently used or even well thoroughly used, starts at like $300,000. It's like, ooh, ouch. Whereas you can get some of these trawlers for less than 100. That's a lot of money. Now I'm former aviation enthusiasts. You guys are all airplane enthusiasts, and so $100,000, yeah, that's a lot, but you know, that's still within the realm of doable usually. So that's kind of my goal, is to find something that I can work on and play with that's under $100K, because you know immediately, like if you buy a $20,000 airplane, you're probably going to put $10,000 to $20,000 in it, just bringing it up to speed. Same thing with these boats. You know, you're going to buy a project and work on it. It's funny. People are driving by and they're like staring at me like, what is this guy doing? I'm talking to myself, damn it. But so I've got that in the works. I've got that plan. Now, a lot of the money that we were going to use for this is gone, not just because of our house build, which wasn't cheap, but also because my father decided he would like to move here. Actually, I encouraged it. After my stepmom passed, which was over a year ago now, he was basically alone in Tennessee where he was, and I'm like, well, that's not going to work. I said, Dad, why don't you move here with us? You know, let's have you come and live near us, not with us, but near us, and you know, we'll take care of you and make sure that all's good. And by the way, he wouldn't want to live with us. He would not do that. He would want his own thing, even if it was just a shack somewhere. Well, I wasn't going to have him live in a shack. So I bought my father a house and kind of leveraged, you know, 401k and other things to get him a house until he could sell his house. And so now I have a second house here that is paid off, thankfully. I mean, it's when he sold his house, he made enough almost to pay off the house I bought him. So that was nice. So now Dad's here, and we built for him a shop so that he could have his woodworking stuff. So you're going to start seeing some woodworking stuff on this channel too, because I plan to do some woodworking. I love woodworking. It's one of my other hobbies. But it's funny about the shop. The shop took like 6 months to get built. When we first started, it was going to be like a 20 by 20 shop. And then Dad's like, well, you know, if we're going to build it, we might as well build a good shop. I was like, okay. So then it became a 30 by 30 shop. And then it became a 30 by 40 shop. And what he eventually got was a 40 by 40 foot shop with a, you know, metal building, concrete pad, you know, everything. I was like, Dad, you're spending my money. Stop it. But we got him a awesome, epic shop. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get in there and start working and doing stuff around that. So you're going to see those videos coming soon too. But anyways, I'm going to let myself talk for a bit on the motorcycle as I'm coming here. And then when the camera dies, I'll come back and talk some more. I actually don't know where the camera died, so I'm just going to make it up as we go. So anyways, here we go.
Well, good morning. So I have no idea how easy or hard this is going to be to hear. This could be impossible and totally not worth the film. I have a couple different cameras on the bike right now. I have a third camera that's in a case. I can't get it running, and that's a little disappointing. It's a GoPro 10 that I was doing a lot of my filming with back when I was in the hangar, and now it just doesn't want to start. I had multiple batteries for it. The second battery, which I used to have them listed like primary battery, secondary battery, etc. It died. It was swollen and fat and not good. So I was like, oh, that's got to go in the trash. But, so yeah, good morning. So here I am coming from my rental that I'm currently at. It is a balmy 40 degrees outside, so I've got a little bit of my cold weather gear on. And I may raise my windscreen just a little so that hopefully that'll make it easier to hear me. But I'm coming from my rental and on my way to the new house build, which should be done at any time. It is December the 12th, and I've been wanting to make a bunch of videos for a while now, and I'm totally ready to get back into it. It's funny because the videos, I think the videos were a large part of the reason I stopped making the plane, was because the videos added so much extra time. Even though I enjoyed it and I enjoyed the community, the videos added so much extra time to everything that it just, I don't know, it kind of sapped the airplane thing. Plus, when my wife said she didn't really want to fly, like she's deathly afraid of flying. It's just not something, which is weird because she's not afraid of anything, but that's just one, like that is a phobia. And I think, you know, you can't explain phobias. Like often phobias are just what they are, right? You know, you're scared of a thing and that's it. And I'm going to go and speed up and go really fast. I love this motorcycle. Alright, anyway, so, yeah, she is terrified of flying, and so I was like, you know what, I kind of want to do the thing that my wife wants to do, and if she doesn't want to fly, well then neither do I, you know what I mean? By the way, I don't know how long this camera is going to last, so if this camera dies, we're going to switch to something else, or we may go to audio only while I show other videos of stuff. But anyways, yeah, so now I'm looking for other stuff to film, because I really want to do other things, and I had wanted to do this over a year ago. I wanted to, like, start filming boat stuff, because that's the goal now, is boat stuff. This will eventually be Jason Ellis boats, I don't know, builds boats, whatever. But I've just been delayed on making my videos. And the powers that be, I got an email from the powers that be at YouTube saying, hey, if you don't make a video, we're going to shut down your channel. Oh, okay, that's weird. So, alright, so I guess I got to make a video, you know. So, I understand it has to do with the whole advertiser thing, even though I never really made much money on YouTube advertising, because I don't have millions of viewers like some people. It's one of those things where you got to pay the bills, right? So I'm here I am making a video. So yeah, but I don't really have much to say. I'm gonna pause this video for this thing and screw it. I have no idea how long this thing's going to last. I doubt it's going to get me all the way to the new house. Should I pause it? I don't know. I mean, I can always charge it. I brought the charger with me, so. Anyway, beautiful day out. Like I said, it's 40. Oh, it's gotten up to 44 degrees. Ooh, nice and warm. I am currently on my BMW K1600 bagger, which is my pride and joy. I love this motorcycle. I pretty much would rather be on this than in a car any day of the week, even on very cold days, even on wet days. Like I've ridden this thing out in the rain. But on my way to the new house, and the new house build has taken forever. I mean, honestly, it's ridiculous how long it has taken. The builder that I'm working with, she's a really nice lady, but she's terrible at estimates. You know, how long things are going to go. She had originally said that we would be moved into the new house and doing stuff well before Thanksgiving. Like Thanksgiving, we'd be having Thanksgiving in the new house. That was her thing. Well, then time goes by, and I mean, there was an entire month and a half where they did nothing on the house, not a thing for the month and a half. I was pissed. And it's like, why? And for whatever reason, another house, like she's building like 8 houses at once. And there are 2 houses, or I guess technically 3 houses during our build that were in the same neighborhood as us. And one of those houses, she was finishing up as we started our house. So that one, of course, she's going to do that one first. I would expect that. But the other 2 houses started after ours. One of them started like well after ours, like 6 months. But the other one started about 3 months after ours, and it's already done. And that's upsetting that she went through and had them finish that house before she finished ours. And it's like, why? Why did they get special treatment? Why did that house? That house is not worth as much as ours. Like it was, I mean, comparable, but it was probably, I don't know, $100,000 less than ours. And yet she kept pulling workers off our house to go to that one, and that was really upsetting. I don't understand why she would do that. So I don't know. That sucked. But and then our cabinetry lady, so we used this lady that she recommended for our cabinets, and the cabinets came out really nice. Like, I'm not complaining about the cabinets, they look awesome. But the lady who we used to get the cabinets was just incompetent. I mean, when did incompetence become the norm? Like, at some point, just rampant, ridiculous incompetence became the standard. And that sucks. I don't understand that. Like, people expect to get paid, full wage for doing subpar work, and that's not good. That's a bad thing in our society. But yeah. So we're getting close on the house build. Now the last time we talked to her, every time we talk to her, oh, it's going to be another week, it's going to be another week. Now it's like before Christmas, it should be done. I actually believe her this time. Today is the 12th, so we've got a couple weeks, but I think she's not full of crap this time. I think we're actually going to get the house done before Christmas, and that's awesome. I'm looking forward to that for sure. Let's see. Last week I was actually in Seattle. I wanted to post about it, but I knew it was going to be a whirlwind trip, so I didn't actually say anything, just to see if anyone wanted to meet. But I was in Seattle for the ASHA convention. So for those of you who don't know, I am no longer a police officer. I got out of the whole sheriff deputy line of work and got back into software. So software was always my first love, and I kind of burned myself out in software. And I'd rather be, shot at and have people pointing guns at me and be beat up by people half my age than be in software. That's how bad I got burned out. So I did the law enforcement thing, now back in software, and for the last 4 years I've been working for a company out of Tennessee creating a product called Ambiki. So Ambiki is a speech, language, occupational therapy, and physical therapy EMR, so electronic medical record system, that is meant to be a full suite of tools for practice management. And we just added audiology too. So we've got a whole bunch of disciplines that we support, and I am super happy there. Like, it's a great company, good people, awesome product, wonderful mission, and I cannot wait until it gets self-sufficient. It's still kind of in the VC phase right now. I mean, we're a startup, right? We're a startup. It's actually only been running for a couple of years, but I've been there 4 years. I mean, it just takes that long to get these big software projects running. We are super close to being self-sufficient. We're just not quite there yet, but we're about to be, and that's exciting, especially when you go to these conferences. So like I said, I was in Seattle for ASHA, and you got people that use your product coming up and asking you questions like, hey, how do I do this? And how do I do that? And like, we love your product. Like, that makes you feel good. You know what I mean? That's a great feeling when you have actual customers that actually use your product, actually showing up and praising you. Like, that's awesome. That's a lot of fun. But yeah, I thought maybe I should, just shout out and see if anyone's going to be in Seattle and we can meet and have dinner. There was no time. I'm super glad I didn't do that now, because the conference itself is all day. And I mean, we were there at 8 a.m. and we were there until 6 p.m., at which point we went out to lunch, or dinner rather, together. And then you're just so zonked from being on your feet all day, you just kind of go back to your hotel and crash, and then you get up and do it again the next day. So yeah, that was 3 days of fun, and I hate Seattle, I really do. So, but where I was going with this is I booked a flight on American Airlines. And oh, this is funny, by the way. I was thinking about this. So in the bathroom at the convention center in Seattle, it has this sign, and read that sign. Who's this sign for? Like, they're trying to tell you that look how good we are. Oh, I like that dude's Jeep. That's cool. Merry Christmas, dude. Anyways, this sign is like, who is this sign for? It's like, are people thinking about drinking out of the urinal? Like, it's just like virtue signaling to virtue signal. I don't understand the point of this. Great, you're conserving water by not, using the public water, but rather using rainwater. That's awesome. Thank you. You don't have to advertise and make sure people know that. Like, it's just, I don't know. It feels kind of pompous and fake, but whatever. Anyways, I just thought that was funny. Back to the little plane thing. So we knew that we were going to ASHA back in August. So this year ASHA was in December. I knew I was going to ASHA back in August, and I booked my flight August 21st. So August 21st for an December, because normally it's in October, for a December flight. And I was like, hey, the day before the flight, I'm like, I haven't got the warning from, let's get back to this truck. I haven't got the warning yet from American Airlines that I need to check in what's going on. So I start logging into American Airlines, and my flight had been changed. Like, the confirmation email still said that my flight is at 5 a.m., but then you look at the online portal and it's got, oh, your flight's been changed, it's now at 1 p.m. And I'm like, oh, that's not going to work. I have to go at 5 a.m. because I have to be at the convention center by noon or 1, I think is when I was going to get there, which was an hour late, to set up the booth. Because that was one of the reasons I was going, was to set up the damn booth. Well, I called American Airlines, and I'm like, why was my flight changed? And like, oh yeah, we stopped accepting, or we canceled the 5 a.m. flight back in early August. And I'm like, well, I booked the flight. It looks like my camera has died, so I'm hoping the other camera is now on. So this may go to random footage of Asha or something while I continue to talk. But I booked my flight early, and they changed it and never warned me. They never told me. And they're like, oh yeah, we always warn people when we change your flights. I'm like, well, you didn't warn me. You know, he's like, oh, we sent you an email. I was like, ma'am, you didn't send me an email. I've had the same email address since 1997. I have every email that I have ever received since 1997. You didn't send me an email. And she's like, oh, yeah, we did. I'm like, no, you didn't. But long story short, American Airlines, just without notice, just canceled my flight and changed it to a different flight that completely was inconvenient, didn't really work out, and they didn't give a crap. I know you're thinking, if only I had my own plane. Yeah. Although you have to admit, a flight from North Carolina to Seattle, and even an RV-10, that's a long flight, guys. I don't know how long that would be, but that would be a full day. So, yeah, American Airlines, I'm telling you, I've never had a good experience with them. It's always something with them, and I don't know, man. I just can't get behind that company. It's never good. And I don't know, honestly, how they're still in business with the customer service they provide. It's just terrible. So, yeah, good old American Airlines. Well, guys, I think that's where I'm going to cut this one. Now, that was a lot of stuff you just listened to, and I was rambling at you for a good long time. If you made it this far, you are a true fan. I really appreciate you. So, again, this video was largely about me giving an update and telling the world, what the hell's going on, and partly to, make a long enough video so that an advertisement could play, because that's really, I think, what all this was about. So I appreciate you. Thank you so very much. I do have more videos coming, believe it or not. I know it's been a long time. It's not going to be airplane related. I don't know what an airplane is, but it's not going to be an airplane related video. It will be woodworking, motorcycling, boating, things like that. Or if there's something else you guys want to see, by all means, let me know and I'll make that happen. In the meantime, though, here's a little bit of video from that American Airlines flight that I flew. It was a pain in the ass, but at least it's a little bit of pretty video. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. Peace.